What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing very well, and thank you very much for watching. This is gonna be a quick video on some basics to survive the Degen Trenches and some red flags to avoid, so that you can alleviate some obvious losses and hopefully make some gains in the future. A big thing to keep in mind, most tokens go to zero, and many of them are just for quick gains. And I feel that the community that most of us fell in love with crypto for is still in NFTs. So I'd like to give a shout out to Solana K9s from Degen Brody, as well as the Sensei collection from Solana Sensei. The K9s were artwork from Endangered Soul as well as Saul Goodman. They're absolutely fire K9s, and for a free mint, proving that the holders as well as value brought to holders through the community is what sets the floor price. Not too long ago, this was below 1 Sol, and I was hoping to be able to get one or two more at those prices. With it only being 420 NFTs available, the floor raises quite easily as people realize the value. So you can see here the floor price is now 4 Sol, which I'm absolutely ecstatic about, and I look forward to seeing this above 10 Sol because the holders are worth that, and the alpha and airdrops will make them pay for themselves. Just yesterday, I managed to secure some decent gains through a call made in the Twitter chat. And while many of the calls have risks involved, quite a lot of them do some good multiples. There have been quite a few that have gone 50 to 100 times their value from when they were called. And just that alone, in a space where it's quite difficult to find communities or alpha callers, so to say, that aren't going to dump their bag on you. Most of the communities do that. The other one would be these pandas. Absolutely gorgeous pandas. I did a video of them when I bought my first one, and I'm grateful to have bought more along the way. I love what Solana Sensei brings to the space, a lot more conscious and aware mentality, as well as gratitude, because a lot of the space has negative aspects to it. So this is a community that I feel could do really well, along with artwork from Monolith and quite a few big whales holding a decent amount of pandas. This could do well in time. The love meta is also expanding. They've been doing a lot of work within the space, from artwork to the Solana validator where you can go stake your soul. But let's get on to the video. This is one I had opened just now. So as you can see, the div holds 3.3% of the supply. Just now he owned 5%, so he's obviously selling, which isn't a great sign. As you can see, it's going downhill. But there are a few red flags I'd like to show you people, just for those that are new to the trenches, or just if you're looking for some extra tips and tricks. Now, the obvious ones, which I've got my GMGN filtering for on the trending page. I'll share a link to this. I used to use Dex Screener, and while that's great to find new pairs, you've got to use other platforms to find the risks involved and to do various checks on them, which is tricky because the quicker you can do it, often the better your chances of getting a good entry should the token be a runner. It's nice to check when tokens are boosted. Sometimes boosted tokens can be a sign that it's on its way down because someone put that money in, so they need to take it out. But sometimes people put some big bags towards the boosts, and that can do well. If the token's already doing well and it gets boosted, it can do really well. But it's often where a lot of people will take their bags out because that's the top, so to say. It's very tricky determining the top of a token, as well as when it's dipping, when to buy back in. Some of my biggest losses within the space have been not selling the top and buying the dips all the way while the token goes to dust. And the revenge trading following that. So all I want to say is be safe in this space. Don't invest more than you can lose. And while that's something I personally don't abide by, I should take my own medicine sometimes. I went all in crypto years ago, and I've I've lost a lot, but I've also gained a lot of experience and learned a lot of lessons, which I'm hoping in the coming years come to fruition. But yeah, this is a token. So the first things I would look for, which are obvious flags that I've got mine set to already avoid. I'll share a link to this in the description. This platform does quite a few checks that are nice to have. So the first thing is that they can't mint them. That's obviously a check, because if they can mint more of the tokens, whatever supply they hold doesn't matter. They could mint another billion and dump them. The other thing is a blacklist. This is sometimes known as freezing authority. If the person can freeze who can trade it, is often when you see the charts that just climb upwards the whole time, because only a few wallets can buy and sell, and everyone else just can look at the gains, but they can't sell the tokens. The liquidity being burnt is a big thing. Now, obviously with new tokens, it needs to be burnt. Just that trust level in this space is not there. There's too many scammers around. If you know the people, and I mean know them very well, you can sort of forego that, because if you trust the person not to dump the liquidity, then it can do well. But it allows for someone to take out everything within the liquidity pool. So for those that don't know that much about the space, the liquidity pool is the actual amount of money within the project. So that's what people are buying and selling from, which raises and dumps the price. And then the other thing is the top 10%. Now, I like to have it fairly low, but that can also be bad, because the bag could be in the hands of people that as soon as they see a 10% loss are going to dump. And that's what causes those cascading dumps. Like, a lot of people confuse a rug with the chart dumping. And I mean, I experienced drugs in 2021 and 2022 that's a rug. You wake up and everything's deleted. There's no socials. The price is through the floor. That's a rug. Whereas these things that slowly cascade down to nothing, that's just people like with their various risk tolerances selling out. So it's tricky to know when the supply is in good hands or bad hands. The other thing that this does is it lets you check blue chip holders. So you can see what supply they have of this collection, as well as how much value they have in various other blue chip collections. So you have someone that has 45K in other collections, but is an insider here. So it means someone else bought, and so this token here is insider. So I've covered the four basic things. The next thing is this one, which is insiders, and then this one, which means there's been token transfers between wallets. Both can be fine, but if you see too many of them, it can be a problem. So if you look at this one, if you just check the holders out, there are the devs there. Why is that loading? So the dev's been selling, which isn't a good sign. And there's a few people that have transferred tokens to other wallets, more than I'd like. So I would avoid this. But if we go to trending, let's check out. I want to see if I can spot some obvious scams, because that's not such an obvious scam. So you could buy and hope to like get out before a lot of other holders get out. But there's some that you want to obviously avoid. And this can be tricky, because watching it run after you've avoided it because of red flags is a tough one. Why is my page not loading? Let's check that out. So I want to see, we'll find something that's like quite an obvious scam. I had mine set, now it's taken away. There was one at 4 billion, which I was like, that's going to be such a crazy one. Yes, yeah, it was this one. So if you look, some things are too obvious. So that's at 5.6 billion and it's just launched. So that could be a sign already. Then if you look at the token, you come out to the holders, this great platform is going to do most of the work for you in avoiding this. Sometimes I've just aped and then I see that, and by the time I try and sell, the money's gone, like gone. So if you see here, the ones highlighted in red mean they were funded by the same wallet. And as you can see here, this is all the exact same wallet funding all these holders. And then there's a few others that have transferred tokens. But now this is all just shy of 1%. all in pretty much the same dude's wallet. There's another wallet, but it's very few people holding a very large amount of the supply and not openly and honestly. So now, as you can see here, people have made money. People that, I don't know, ignorantly or with inside information, knowing when those other people are going to sell, they've made not crazy gains, but 34%. So if you invested $100, you could have made $30. You could have also lost $100, but there's people making money. I would rather avoid it because timing it before those people sell out is a nightmare. You're never going to know when they're going to sell out. And if they do sell out before you do, you're looking at a 99% loss. It's unfortunate the trades I've got open over here don't look so great. I bought some bigger bags of projects that were fairly established that I thought I could do that quick 30%, not 100 times my money, but a quick 30%. And it just didn't work out too well. So just to go over the basics again, make sure the liquidity is burnt, make sure they don't have the freeze authority, and make sure that they can't mint tokens. Then the next thing to look out for is whether there's wallets that are funded by the same person / it's bundled, often they call them. So this has been bundled by one person, owns quite a lot of the supply. So after those checks, you want to check out the supply. Another thing to check out is the X page. Often the X page can give away quite a lot of obvious red flags. Some people have previous name checkers. I know this does give a warning if the X name has changed recently quite a few times. It gives you a warning. If the page was created years ago and only has 3 posts, for instance, that's a clear sign that you don't want to do anything. So this was created in October and they've not posted yet. So that's a red flag of note. I wouldn't touch that. There's Mixi AI doing a space. I'm a bit upset with that. I paper handed my NFT, which is not great. But it happens within the space. So that's that for the basics. Make sure it's burnt. Make sure the supply is in decent holders. You can check the blue chip holders. You can also use Telegram bots to check the top holders and their other value within the space. Another big thing that I like to check for is how much are they up. If the top holders are all up by ridiculous amounts, they're probably going to be wanting to take profits depending on who they are. And then, yeah, if you are in the trenches, to avoid regret, when I did the first take of this video, I was down on this. To avoid regret, make sure to take profits. Whether it's at 100% or 200%, I really suggest taking your initial investment out and then along that way, shave the top and be wary of buying dips. Dips with major holders, and if you see the holders aren't dropping and the holders are actually increasing, can be good dips, but it's very tricky to call the right dip. I bought back into this and it dipped quite a lot since I bought back in, but I sold, and then when I woke up today, I saw that it pretty much bottomed out, and then the holders were still holding, majority of them. As you can see, there's 2,300 holders. It means there's still potential. It might not go back up to here, that's 1.9 million, but there's still potential to make some gains. But to avoid regret, make sure to secure your bag. I've got written here, secure the bag and don't be greedy, because the biggest reason I've been in a shit headspace this year was I made gains and then didn't take profit at the top because I was like, no, it's going to keep running. And then all the way down, bought back in, which was tough because it's really difficult to go from making a profit and then investing more than you actually made and then some, when you could have avoided that at all costs. So for me, it's a big lesson I learned, and tokens have been something that I want to make quick gains. Unless it's like something like Chonky, I'm trying to buy more Chonky because that deserves quite a decent run. But these new tokens, buy them, sell them, make your gains, and secure them in something like Solana K9s or a Sensei Panda. Then I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my token, Noble Network, for the Noble Network at least. This is going to be something that I had planned and it should have been launched by now, but having seen so many projects and tokens ruined by failed launches and the wrong people securing bags and the right people losing their money, I'd rather do it carefully and slowly and properly. I launched my NFTs heading on 3 years ago now, and they're doing extremely well. They're diamond-handed as could be, because they were a totally different approach for it. It wasn't an NFT collection launched just to be an NFT collection. It was me taking existing brands and deciding to offer rewards and benefits within those brands to loyal members. So the people that have bought those, they're holding them for life. And they've received their money worth and back from the Noble Extracts and Noble Genetics NFT collection. But this is something I've had, man, since I first started investing in ICOs when 2017, 2018. I've always dreamt of this, and it's something I look forward to bringing to reality. And it's not going to be one of these tokens that makes the investors 1,000 times their money and then everyone else that bought loses their money. It's going to be something that I hope brings value to any of the holders, regardless of the price they bought it at. Truly player pump player versus player versus player. And I feel this will be around for many generations to come. Till the blockchain breaks, I feel that this is the future of stocks and shares. And Noble Network is something that I've brought to reality within my life, and I would like that to be manifested on the blockchain. So you can go check it out at noblenetwork.com. Noble Network without an O in the work. Here's the benefits of holding: exclusive access, governance and participation, long-term growth potential, early opportunities in new projects, and contribution to innovation. So that's the big thing with the project. It's all about helping society adopt Web3 and integrating existing brands and people into Web3 and crypto and NFT projects. 50% of the supply is going to be locked up for 3 years, and then pre-sale, liquidity, and airdrop and marketing is going to be the rest of the supply. Hopefully going into some good hands. I don't expect massive price action in the first while. This is going to be something that for the next 10, 20 years is going to bring value to the people that can see the vision. I'll do a proper video on it in due time, but check it out. I would love any constructive criticism. The next video is going to be on Meteora pools. I've been playing around with them after the ME drop. I've actually stayed out the trenches since that drop. This Eidolon is the first one I've bought, other than Poly, since the ME drop. Because after that happened, it made me realize that there's still potential in the space, and I can't keep kicking myself for the potential I've missed. And I need to move forward to the future with Noble Network as well as myself. So I've been playing with Meteora pools. ME dropped below my range, so I lost a little bit of cash on that, but I'll be doing a video of some of the things I've learned and some basics on how to set up your pool. If you'd like me to cover anything else, drop a comment. This is a community channel. I just want to share the journey so we can all win together, avoid the losses. I've paid some school fees this year that I don't even want to fucking show receipts for, but I stay grateful. I've been involved in crypto in some degree for 10 years, and it's been a crazy ride. I should have more to show for it, but all in due time. Thank you. Cheers.